why I agree to you, because it's like finding a middle linebacker who both understands the run game and how to stop that and how to support that, but also having the speed and range to actually be able to play on third down is rare.
I'm
Because
cool if he can't. I'm cool if he comes out for nickel packages.
Nah.
Honestly, they
Nah.
signed LaMarcus Joyner.
if you're taking,
I personally think that was a horrible signing because Eric Berry's available.
I've been saying that too, but what I'm
My
saying
sister's
is,
taller than both the Raiders starting safeties.
what I'm saying is though, like having that value of being able to keep him on the field in third down makes it worth selecting a middle linebacker at number 4. Like, you don't take a middle linebacker at number 4 overall if you don't think he can play all 3 downs.
All
like,
4
period.
downs. Honestly, like Devin
Exactly.
White would never come off the field for me.
Exactly.
He'd be my starting outside linebacker. You're going to cover tight ends all day.
Exactly.
And then you're going to shut down anything on the run that comes your way. Let him start an outside linebacker. What's the worst that can happen?
But yeah,
He can cover.
That's what I'm saying is like it's especially with the way the Raiders are set up right now.
Because their defensive scheme is very vanilla. If you go watch the Bengals, it's very vanilla. You can predict. Like, I can point out people in their defense and say what their role is.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like when I look at the Raiders scheme, I can see them running a lot of nickel because they have 3 safeties they want to start.
Yeah.
And they have 3 corners now. They just signed another corner.
Nevin Coleman.
Yeah. And they'll probably draft one in
Can
like
you
the second or third round.
By the way, we'll get to pro days in a minute too. But can you just hit the blue button for me? Stop signing Comer. Like, you could have signed Glover Quinn, who's a better safety than LaMarcus Joyner. He's a corner.
He's like 34.
Glover Quinn's not that old. Let me Google that.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is like when I look at their defense, it's like, okay, who is going to be their coverage linebacker? Because it isn't Whitehead and
Nicholas
it isn't
Morrow,
Burfict.
but no one wants to put him on the field. And even he ain't all that great.
Where the cricket? There you go.
But again, like I said last year, and we're by no means draft beatniks, but we do play football and we understand concepts. And we understand that if they have a fast guy, you might want to have a fast guy too to cover that fast guy. And he might want to just be able, even if he can only cover from the slot, you want that guy to be able to do that. The reason why those Raider defenses, even when those Raider teams were bad, they had Kirk Morrison, the middle linebacker, and they had Thomas Howard, God bless the dead, on outside, who could rush the passer and actually turned out to be a much better coverage linebacker.
What I will give Burfict
It's a 4-3 defense. I don't know what y'all expecting, but like Tahir Whitehead obviously can't cover tight ends, but he does. You need to stop the run, so fine, Burfict, and you need an outside linebacker who can actually play and run. And I'm sorry, Emmanuel Lemire is not it.
That's for sure. But what I was gonna give Burfict credit for is like watching his progression, like seeing what he was in high school, which was basically a dude who just relied on his brute strength and speed, like would literally track plays down from the backfield and completely blow them up, or like perfectly time your snap count and blow up your center and guard and blow up the play.
I hated dudes like that.
Yeah, it was bad.
My senior year, we played Santa Maria. I don't know. We were in Santa somewhere. Damn, we got our ass kicked.
But yeah,
they literally were like predicting our snap counts, and it was just like, okay, well, you still have to run the play.
Yeah.
But in high school, when you know guys aren't going to make it to the next level, and like you always went against those teams, we went against a team that had a D line or one dude who was receiver, but he was going to be a tight end to the next level. We had a bunch of D linemen who were skinny and fast, and like that can kind of frazzle you. So you throw in a guy like Vontze, especially his junior year, even senior year, jumping snaps and hurdling people, like dog. You can't,
it was disgusting. It was crazy.
You can't coach
But that's what I'm saying is like from that, and even in ASU he did a lot of that. But in the NFL, he's definitely learned to read defenses more.
Damn, he's 33, right?
He's definitely, yeah, I know. I looked it up. But he's definitely got a much better ability to use his hands to take on blocks and separate. And he also has done a better job of reading deep offenses and actually being able to react in terms of thinking, and not just like, oh, his reaction is so fast because he's just fast and strong. It's like, no, he's actually knows what's going on now. Like he's actually
playing smarter.
Yeah, and that's credit to Gunther. And the other thing is, like, he's actually a tough guy. Like,
no smoke intended. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's not actually like one of those talkers.
Fake tough guys.
And it's like, oh, okay, like what's good? Like he's not an NBA player. Like he's not Serge Ibaka. Like he's really about the smoke.
Who's never connected on a punch.
Yeah, he's really about the smoke, and he's about it 24/7.
Shout out to Fresher.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like that's why it's gonna be interesting to me to see what happens between him and AB, because it's like AB. I mean, is
the dog too.
Yeah, at least we think so. But now that's going to be brought to a test in practice, and it's like, okay, well, who's going to give?
He might knock out Tyrell Williams.
Yeah,
he might just knock out like Seth Roberts.
Give them both concussions at the same time.
No, he might just knock out Seth Roberts just as a way for them to get an injury settlement. Why is Seth Roberts still on the Raiders? Why?
He got the picks.
He got naked pictures of God or something. Shout out to Nas. Shout out to Nas on that one. On Life is Good.
Any other free agent signings you want to address?
Yeah. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Bet. So, Dominican Sue is still a free agent. I just have a question, and then I'm going to get back to the rest of these signings. Would it be plausible that Dominican Sue ends up on the Indianapolis Colts? They haven't spent any money this offseason, realistically.
Bruh.
They only spent, they gave, what's his face? Devin Funches and Bunches. They gave him a 1 year, like, $10 million contract or $13 million contract.
Does Sue have a market right now? Because honestly, it's been.
But realistically, like, he would be the perfect centerpiece for that Colts defense.
I feel you, but at the same time,
he can still play.
I've talked about this before. It's like he can definitely still play. He can definitely still play at a high level, especially in the right defense. But at the same time, the way these teams work, I don't know if I don't know if he's going to get the market that he deserves or wants.
He's never gotten that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, he did kind of, set records when he went to the Dolphins.
But that's the Dolphins. The Dolphins are trying to actually unload Robert what's his name? Robert Quinn's contract. They paid to get rid of Ryan Tannehill. They traded Ryan Tannehill.
Well, they're willing to pretty much pay to get rid of Quinn too. So
yeah, but think about it. They got rid of Ryan Tannehill. Shout out to Miko Grimes. Miko Grimes is always right about Ryan Tannehill, and everybody's quiet. And she finally called it out. But yeah, so I got him. Ziggy Ansah still a free agent. Jared Cook probably most likely going to sign with the Saints. Justin Houston still a free agent.
Another guy the market has been quiet on. That's why it's
Eric Berry's a free agent. Yeah, we already talked about Juwan James. Brian Callahan signed with the Broncos, a huge signing for the Carolina Panthers. And Keith, this is the part of the show where you go crazy, but you and I both know you don't know who I'm talking about, but it's all good. Boise State alum, Boise State great center, Matt Paradis. Former Denver Broncos center. And by the way, Matt Paradis, I think, was undrafted. Great young athletic center. Signed with the Carolina Panthers 3 years, $29 million. Not all it's guaranteed. But seeing as how Ryan Khalil retired and they have a center, that helps their offensive line out.
I just think it's crazy how they're like, okay.
Matt Paradis was their best lineman in Denver.
You gotta go, bro. your brother's retiring. You gotta go too, bro.
Like your services are no longer needed.
Yeah, your services are no longer needed.
He was always the better brother, even when you were like the number one tackle coming out of like.
Which is something we talked about off air, but like for real.
Is there a bigger bust than Matt Khalil?
As for in terms of a little brother,
like
I feel like
he's the Tony Mandarich of little
brothers. I feel
brothers.
like Nick Bosa is gonna be in that, might be in that category as well.
We're gonna get to Nick Bosa in a minute, but yeah. So Golden Tate signed with the Giants 4 years, $37.5 million. Mitch Morris, former Kansas City Chiefs center, 4 years, $44 million. He signed with the Bills. The Chiefs might just grab Ray Bradbury or Eric McCoy out of Texas A&M. The Bradbury's out of North Carolina State, though. Like, it's a really good interior lineman who are going to go quick in this draft. Yeah, John Brown signed 3 years, $27 million with the Bills. Jameson Crowder.
Why do people still go to the Bills, man?
Because they pay you money. I would go too. You would just never hear from me. Shout out to Pierre Desir. Had a great backstory years ago. Signed a 3 year, $25 million contract with the Colts. Morris Claiborne.
Finally, that dude is finally breaking in, man.
I wish he would just not wear 35. It's an ugly ass number for a corner. It's like nobody good wears 35. But anyway, Henry Anderson, 3 years, $25 million with the Jets. He's a tweener. Yeah, I think I said it before. Adam Humphries, 4 years, $36 million. Shaquille Barrett, 1 year, $5 million. Cameron Wake was a huge one to Tennessee, 3 years, $23 million. He's 37, bro.
I know. That's why I'm in the air horn review. Did you really just say that was a big signing?
Because, bro, he can still play. That's
no, he can still play, but he
came back from a torn Achilles.
A depth spot.
Yeah, but that's Tennessee's entire defense. Look at Derek Morgan. That's what he's been his whole career. How many 10-sack seasons has Derek Morgan had? Even though his wife is a vegan chef, shout out to him. Like, some of the food she was cooking in that piece, I was like, damn. He's a winner in life. Because Georgia Tech isn't that bad after all. Yeah, Terrell Suggs, 1 year, $7 million with the Cardinals. Clay Matthews.
That was
the newest member of the Ramily.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Ramily.
2 years, $16 million. I think this is great on two fronts for the Rams. Because they gave Fowler 1 year, I think, $14 million deal or something like that.
My
but
biggest
you got
thing,
Fowler, and then you got Clay Matthews, who can play middle linebacker. At this rate, he's
we've
not the pass rusher
already
he used
seen
to be.
that, bro.
Bro,
We've
he's not
already
the
seen that.
No, they had him.
I agree
doing
with
too much in that defense.
I agree with what you're saying.
If he only plays middle linebacker,
no, negative.
That's fine.
Nope.
He can play it.
Nope.
He can do it.
Okay, he should
He's
be
better-
rushing the passer every time he's on the field.
He should, but he ain't what he used to be.
The other thing you got to realize is, yeah, he only had 3.5 sacks last year, but like you said, he was doing a lot. One, and two,
When he made the Pro Bowl
he had
as a middle linebacker,
he had like three or four sacks that were like literally taken away from him off some bullshit, which
he should have had about
is
8
well
or
documented.
9 sacks.
Which is well documented.
That is true. I forgot about that.
But my whole thing with Clay Matthews, I mean, that's another move that just makes complete sense.
For the Rams?
Yeah. They needed a pass rusher. They need linebacker depth. He's got experience in a 3-4 defense. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's got USC ties, like
real mob ties, all-time highs.
And now he goes to a place where not only does he have a defensive line that can protect him,
Robert Woods. Shout out to Robert Woods.
He has a secondary that can actually,
Cover.
create turnovers. So he's not the dude who has to
He can just
force
rush
those game changing plays. And he actually has a good defensive coordinator who will actually
Wade Phillips,
who is a fan of him.
We'll put him in the right position.
Exactly, without having to make him the go-to player, if that makes sense. He's going to put him in positions to succeed without him being the star player.
And now it's less pressure off Aaron Donald, because if you have Dante Fowler, Clay Matthews, and Aaron Donald, okay, the stunt is going to be nasty.
Exactly. And if you put Clay Matthews on the